I consider grid work to be the anchoring into of the natural flow and cycles of existence, while allowing universal love energy to flow through my being. And as this energy flows through my being, it brings information with it for me to know. The information that comes is always of the highest intention, of the highest good. It's always coming from love. And sometimes it brings little missions, uh, some fun, some play with it. It offers me some suggestions of things that I could do that would allow that love that's flowing through me to also be expressed and help the rest of humanity or the planet or our star families. I don't have to accept the mission when I get the information, but I usually choose to because it feels so loving and so expansive, and it feels like the right thing to do. It feels like that is why my soul has come to be here in the best way that it can help right now. So, when I realized recently that I was going to be traveling to Minneapolis twice within a week, which is a city I don't normally travel to, I got curious about that and I tuned in to that flow. I allowed it to flow through me and I asked it, okay, well, I kind of told it too. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to Minneapolis and I'm wondering if there's anything that you would like me to do for grid work in Minneapolis. And it didn't take long at all. Within second, not even a second, the name George Floyd popped into my head, specifically George Floyd Square. And I got very curious about that. It's very close to where my travels were taking me. And I asked Spirit and the loving flow about that. And what came through is that, well, actually, what I told Spirit is that I think that energies there are dense and kind of heavy and chaotic. And what was clarified for me is that yes, and at the time of the events that occurred in the area, we were also in the midst of experiencing COVID. COVID had just happened about 3 months prior. And we also had the same national leader at that time that has now come back into power. As I'm receiving this information, I was feeling extremely emotional and crying softly. And I asked about that. I'm feeling this is a situation that I had been more neutral about to a degree. And I was curious about the emotion I was feeling. And Spirit shared with me that it was the emotion of the collective and all of those energies and the heavy, heavy emotions of the space, of the time back in 2020 have all come full circle, and the land, the area, the energy of the area wants to be witnessed so the energies can be released. We want you to go, witness, and release. And that is what I did. I went to George Floyd Square and held space for all of those who have been affected in any way, shape, or form by the events in that space, as well as any other similar events ever. And held it with reverence. And I let it flow to be released. And that is the grid work that I did today at George Floyd Square.